Hey guys, it's me, Chandler. Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the 9 books that I read in July. If you want to see more monthly reading wrap-ups like this, definitely comment down below and tell me down below what your favorite book at the moment is. Mine is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. The first book that I read in July was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think that's how I say it. I did tab this if you guys can't tell, and I rated this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy this book. I think if I rated it now, I'd probably rate it like 4 stars, because right after I read things, if I liked it a lot, I tend to rate it 5 stars without thinking much about it. But for me, 5 stars is only for like my favorite books, so realistically this is probably like a 4.5 stars. But this follows a boy named, I think it's like Santiago or something. But this has really good quotes in it. I really enjoyed reading it, and it's basically about a boy who goes to find this treasure that he's heard of, and he learns along the way so many different life lessons, and he meets like an alchemist who helps him. It had just so many good quotes about like your life's purpose and stuff like that. One that I really like is, "And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it." I just really liked it, and I felt like it had some really good lessons that I definitely have applied to my life. I don't know, it was a really good book, and I definitely recommend reading it. It's a pretty short read, to be honest. Yeah, it's literally 182 pages, so definitely recommend checking this out. I'm gonna read my review for all of the books, so first let me read my review for The Alchemist. Wow, this book really did it for me. I went into this having no idea what it was about and was pleasantly surprised. This book is fiction, but I felt that overall the book was just meant to be a metaphor for life, and it had so many amazing quotes in it and so many quotes that people said that I implemented their tips into my life. This book is definitely a self-help book in disguise, but it is so much more interesting to read than a normal self-help book. The following is spoiler-free. The book follows a shepherd who goes in search of treasure and meets many different types of people along the way who help him discover what the book calls his personal legend. If I read that sentence before reading this book, it definitely wouldn't intrigue me, but I promise you should at least give this book a try. I normally am more into modern books, but surprisingly this book was really entertaining and taught me valuable lessons that I have/will be applying to my life. Smiley face. Definitely recommend this book. It has nothing inappropriate in it, which I really enjoyed, and overall I had a great experience reading The Alchemist. The next book I read was The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, and I rated this 4.5 stars. This book is about a girl's recovery from something that happens at the very beginning of the book, and her just trying to deal with it and stuff like that. Definitely, if you're gonna read this, look up trigger warnings. But I read this in audiobook form, and I really did enjoy it. I don't have much to say about it, to be honest. I just think that it really like opened my eyes type of thing. My review for The Way I Used to Be was, "Oh my gosh, this book destroyed me, cried on numerous occasions. This book, just wow." Yeah. The next book I read in July was The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave, and I gave this book 2.5 stars. I also read this as an audiobook, so I do not have the physical copy, but the book is about a woman whose husband, the company he works for, gets into legal trouble, and her husband goes missing. So then she starts trying to figure out what happened to him, how he goes missing, and the last thing he told her. And overall, I just found this book like really anticlimactic, and I don't know, it just like wasn't really for me. I'll read my review for you guys. I said, "Looks like I'm the minority on this one, but I'm going to stand with my rating. Throughout my reading of this book, I would have said 3 stars because I thought it was fine, but not anything incredible. But then the ending, I was expecting to bump that score up, but I was so underwhelmed. The ending felt very rushed, and like the author just didn't know where to go with the story, so they just ended it. Just wanted to say though that I am a harsh reviewer. A year ago, I would have given this 5 stars because my rating system was completely different. Just know this rating is relative to my rating system, but overall probably wouldn't recommend." The next book that I read in July was Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It's about a literary agent, Nora, and a editor, Charlie, and it's like Grumpy Sunshine, and Nora goes on a girls trip with her sister Libby to this town, and it ends up that Charlie is actually there on like vacation, and of course it's a romance, so they end up falling in love, but it's kind of like I like you but I wish I didn't type of thing, and I really liked it. I will tell you what I said right here. I said, "Cried, laughed, squealed. This book did it for me. Charlie Lostra and Nora Stevens are so frickin' magickin' cute. Oh my lord." I also love the sister dynamic in this book between Nora and Libby. I personally think I enjoyed that a lot because I myself am an older sister, and Nora and Libby's sister dynamic made me think about my relationship with my sister as we age. Overall, this book was just super absolutely adorable, and even though I have read Beach Read, which I gave 4 stars, I finally now get the Emily Henry hype. So as you can tell, I did enjoy this book. It definitely is just a cute little rom-com-y romance book, and I definitely would recommend that you read it. The next book I read, Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This book was so good. It follows Bea, and something at the beginning of the book happens to her mother, so she ends up going to live with her dad, who she hasn't talked to in a long time, and her dad is like rich, but her mom is like super poor, so going to live with her dad is definitely super duper different. And she meets this guy there named Samson, and it's definitely like giving summer beachy vibes, and basically her and Samson kind of start a relationship, but like they don't want to, but because she has to go to college and he is going to go into the army. And then we find out that Samson has like some secrets and stuff like that, and it's really good. I definitely recommend. If you guys want to see like the vibes of these books, I do have a Pinterest board. My Pinterest, I'm not sure what it is, but I'll put it down here what my Pinterest is, but I have Pinterest boards for most of the books I read, so I can kind of like get the vibe of the book in a Pinterest board, which I do have one for this one, so definitely check it out. Okay, here's my review. How is Colleen Hoover allowed to do this to me? Rip my heart and soul out slowly, then piece it together just to rip it apart again and finally piece it together. I've never cried from a book because I was sad to finish it. Until today. This is so much more than a romance book. This book truly opened my eyes to how privileged and lucky I am for the life I have. I love Bea with my whole freaking heart. OMG, and Sarah and Samson, and Sierra slayed too, even though we got like 3 pages of her, lol. Colleen, I need a sequel. When is it coming out? With the emoji that's like, yeah. I really loved this book. I would say it's my favorite read of the month, but it's not. You guys will see what it is soon. This is definitely a must read by Colleen Hoover. The next book is actually the first book that I read for my 24-hour reading vlog, which will be up soon, but it is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I gave this book 2 stars. Y'all are gonna come at me for this, but I really did not enjoy this book. It is about a girl named, I was about to say Delia, a girl named Kaya who lives in like the marsh, which is like a swamp type of thing, at least that's how I imagined it, and she's kind of like away from society type of thing, and she has to grow up really quick and kind of fend for herself, that type of thing. But then a murder happens in the town and everyone suspects Kaya of doing it, so it follows like Kaya as a young child and then Kaya when she is being basically accused of murder. Hi, it's me editing, and I have decided for the books that are in my 24-hour readathon, I will read my review of them, but I'm not going to tell you guys like a ton of what I thought about it, because you'll just have to watch the reading vlog if you want to see that. My review was, it was supposed to give, but it just didn't. It felt so boring and drawn out at parts. Like literally, I didn't even start remotely enjoying it until page 130 something. Like, I love a long book if it's done right. Example, a slow burn romance. But for a mystery, for no action to pick up for literally 200 pages was just so disappointing. Normally, when a book doesn't do it for me, I still understand how other people love it, but this one I just don't get. OMG, and don't even talk to me about the ending. Literally, what was that? I no joke predicted the ending so early on, but then was like, no, that's way too predictable and simple. The book is so highly praised. Surely it can't end like that. I was wrong. So basically, I really didn't like this book. It was very anticlimactic, slow, and the ending was bad. All of these next books that I read are for the 24-hour reading challenge. So we have Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and again with all these I give more in-depth reviews in the 24-hour reading vlog, and they are spoiler free. But we have Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. This was my first Sally Rooney book. As you can see, I tabbed this one, and I really did enjoy this one. I gave it 4.25 stars, and a lot of people either love or hate Sally Rooney. I definitely loved her. This book was very slow and nothing really happened in it, but I think that's kind of the point. It's just more of a book about life. My review of this book was, I love this book. First off, let me preface with this. I went into this book with a very open mind, knowing I might like it, might hate it. As you all probably know, Sally Rooney is an author that people either hate or love. Her writing style overall, I would say, is pretty unique. This book surprised me for sure. I loved the pace of this book and the characters. This book helped me to realize that I do enjoy character-driven books, but only if I love the characters. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid made me think I didn't like character-driven books, when in fact, I just didn't fall in love with the characters. I loved all of the amazing quotes and topics in this book. The only flaws with this book, hence the reason it's not 5 stars, are that sometimes it did get a little bit boring when it got to parts I wasn't very interested in, but overall, love this book. This book helped me to realize that I don't need insane plot twists to enjoy a book. Yeah, this book definitely helped me to realize that, because before I thought I would only enjoy a book if it had like twists and turns and plot twists, which don't get me wrong, I do love all of those things, but really just like a slow-paced book about life, just like a good literary fiction, I really did enjoy it a lot. The next book I read was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, aka Acotar. Okay, so this book has basically been really popular for the longest time. Like, if you guys know about what Book Talk is, I'm not going to explain it, but this was like one of the OG Book Talk books, and I have always thought that, like, oh, I'm not really a fantasy girl, because the last time I read fantasy was when I read like a few of the Harry Potter books in like 4th grade, and I've always thought that it was just like too much world building and stuff for me, but this book proved that wrong. Also, side note, do I say Sarah J. Maas or say Sarah J. Maas? Is it Moss or Mass? In my reading vlog I said Moss, but I think it might be Mass. I don't know, I've heard people say it both ways. But this book, I think, is actually a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It follows Feyre, and this is all spoiler free. In the beginning, she kills a wolf, but the wolf turns out to be a fairy, and there's this treaty between the fairy and the human land that if a human kills a fairy, then the fairies get to kill that human. So one day, a big beast guy comes to her door. His name's Tamlin. He basically tells her about the treaty, and he says, I can either kill you now, or I can take you to my kingdom with me for you to live there forever. And she decides to go with him, obviously, so then she doesn't have to die. So many different things happen in that kingdom. There's like this mysterious sickness going around, and there's all these different types of fairy creature things, and it's so good. I really enjoyed this, and this is a series. I think there's currently 4 books plus a novella right now, but I actually did get the next book. I got A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the next book, and I'm so excited to read it. I definitely will be reading it within these next few days, but this is a solid 5-star for me. But this is literally one of the best books I have read in a long time, and it did have a lot of world building, but to me it wasn't boring. Like, I really enjoyed the world building a lot, and I love the characters. Here I have a bunch of tabs. As you can see, the second half of the book is way more tabbed. Oh my gosh. And if you want to know what the tabs mean, guess you'll have to watch my 24-hour reading vlog. When I wrote this review, I wasn't in the mood to write like a super lengthy review, so it's very short. But I said, tell me why this is one of the best books I've ever read. Also, not me simping for an evil murderer fairy.
Anyways,
on to the next and final book. I actually finished this literally like 20 minutes ago. It is The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn, and I read this as an audiobook. And normally, also don't mind my family being so loud. Normally I don't enjoy books written by men, but I actually really did enjoy this book. It is about a woman whose name is Hannah, and she has agoraphobia, which I didn't know what that meant, but it basically means you're kind of like scared to go outside type of thing, like paranoid, and it was because of some PTSD that she had because of some events that happened, and you don't find out what that is till later in the book. I don't know if this is a spoiler, so let me look at the summary. Ooh, I really like this summary. I'm just gonna read this. Her name was Anna. I thought it was Hannah because of the way the narrator said it. That's funny. Anyways, I'm gonna read you guys the little synopsis that Goodreads has. It's not a spoiler. Oh my gosh, my family's so loud. Anna Fox lives alone, a recluse in her New York City home, unable to venture outside. She spends her days drinking wine, maybe too much, watching old movies, recalling happier times, and spying on her neighbors. Then the Russells move into the house across the way. A father, a mother, and their teenage son. The perfect family. But when Anna, gazing out her window one night, sees something she shouldn't, her world begins to crumble, and its shocking secrets are laid bare. What is real? What is imagined? Who is in danger? Who is in control? In this diabolically gripping thriller, no one and nothing is what it seems. It was actually really good. While I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, this is probably gonna be like a 3.5 stars, like it's good, whatever. But the first plot twist I had actually guessed would happen, so that one wasn't like big for me, but the second one I did not see coming. Let me read you guys my review. Oh, also I gave this 4 stars, but I put, okay, during the book, I didn't think I would like this a ton, but that second plot twist got me. And then I do have a spoiler that I say in my review after that. But if you have read this, I'm gonna say the spoiler, so skip to this time frame if you do not want to hear the spoiler. The plot twist where her husband and daughter were dead, I suspected, but Ethan being the one who killed the lady, did not see that coming. Okay, now the spoiler part is over. Overall, July was like a really good reading month for me. So in the month of July, we had 2 2-star books, 3 4-star books, and we had 4 5-star books. So literally the rating that I gave the most this month was 5 stars, and I do not give 5 stars easily. So that is insane how good of a reading month this month was, and I'm so excited to see what I get to read in August. Hopefully I do read a lot because school's starting, so we'll see. School literally starts August 4th. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, comment down below what your favorite book at the moment is. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!